So I actually just talked to the seller right now. It's a pre-foreclosure. Problem is, it already has an auction date set. Have you
Okay.
ever done one of those?
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it is the situation. So what is the auction date?
Well,
Now you're gonna,
just talking about people checking out for the holidays. It's January 3rd.
yeah. So did you enter into a contract with them?
No, I haven't. No.
So boy, you better like get cranking. So
Yeah.
you need to enter in that contract, and you need to find a way to have your title company reach out to the foreclosing attorney to try to stop the sale. You're gonna have to try every stop in the book. You're gonna have to
Okay.
try at the county level. You're gonna have to try to work through your title company, and you're gonna have to hammer that law firm.
Okay.
It's not
Before
easy.
Christmas, pretty much.
Because the other way you got to do it is you got to hire an attorney and pay him $1,500 to $3,000 just to stop the sale. And most of them will tell you got to do a bogus claim of like a bankruptcy. I don't commit fraud. I don't believe in that. We have a legitimate contract on the property. Do you know what all the liens and everything are added up to on the foreclosure?
No, I do not. No.
So
I
you
just got this lead.
yeah. So number one, you got to make sure there's enough equity in it.
Okay.
So
Well, that was actually going to be my next question. The on PropStream, is PropStream usually correct with the mortgage balance?
It's a guesstimate. It's not going to be exact, but
Okay.
it should give you in the ballpark, and you should be able to get the foreclosure case and look up online. And it usually reads like a novel. It's ridiculous, like all the people they serve and the complaints and who's doing
Okay.
that. But they'll start revealing amounts within there, and you can reverse engineer the mortgage through PropStream. You can do it through ZachData.com, but PropStream is one of the more accurate ones.
Okay.
And then from there, you can go into the court case and kind of put two and two together. The third one is the seller gets sent all the legal notices on what they're trying to foreclose on them for. And you need to get that kind of number because you need to look at it and make sure there's any equity left to it. So have they given you a number?
Yeah, well, PropStream says $121,000 balance, and he is saying $166,000 balance.
So I go with the bigger number.
Okay.
Remember, you got attorney's fees.
Big
If they're not paying on the mortgage, you got interest. So it only grows. The idea is they drag this on forever. So it's near the end. So
Yeah.
what's the house worth?
I think the ARV is around 220, and
Yeah.
the repairs are probably around 20,000. So it's really close.
It's borderline. And that's
Yeah.
the problem with everyone who procrastinates on a foreclosure. They can't get the numbers to work because they waited so long. Procrastinating gets to the point where is it really
Yeah.
worth it? I'm
Yeah.
telling you, in today's market, it probably isn't because you're not going to have enough time because they waited to the last minute, and it's going to take it takes a lot of work to stop these sales, especially
lot of
year
legwork.
end, and you're talking about like a holiday season. So
Yeah.
I always tell you,
Worst case scenario.
yeah. So if you're ever working with somebody in a foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, the ideal scenario is to catch them at least 90 days before the auction because you can get anything done in 90 days.
Yeah.
30 days is massive risk, and you better make sure the equity's there because you don't want to waste time. I've personally hired a lawyer to stop some foreclosures, but some of them, they're just not worth it. And if you can't make the math work, like I don't
Yeah.
want to take over a position with the seller's already and let them foreclose on it. It's not going to go anywhere. Eventually, it's going to go back out on the market. But
Yeah.
that's the problem with.
He said he had a couple people come look at it.
Yeah, he's waited too late, and then here's the best part. You're missing the best part of it. What's the seller's expectation to sell you the property?
Well, he said that he wants to at least break even, so 166,000.
Okay, but isn't that what's owed against the house?
That's what he said. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's his best choice. Like even that's going to be tough.
Well, you know what's funny? He said he had a couple of people come out and look at it, and they were lowballing the crap out of him, is what he said.
But you can't. So the thing is, you can't go below what the perceived judgment's going to be on it. So they do it.
Right.
They enter into a judgment before they take it to auction. So that should be a public number. If you
Yeah.
can't make the numbers work for that, just move on because you're just going to be wasting time.
Waste of time. Yeah.
The problem is what I'm telling you is most of these sellers, they actually expect to get cash out of these properties because they're so used to the market being so hot. They're like, oh, I should make money no matter what. Those days are over. Their procrastination has cost them a ton of money. You can't make it work. How far behind is he on payments? How many months or years? years?
It was the pre-foreclosure. It started in March of 22, so
Yeah,
like
so
8, 9 months.
So, like sometimes if you can catch someone like this and they're 2 or 3 months into it, even 6 months, you can catch
Still
up the
some
mortgage, like get it caught and then find another cash buyer and take over accretive financing and just sell that package.
Yeah.
And that serves all three parties and it's helped. The problem is, once again, this person's procrastinated so long. If they just went back a year ago in March, they would have had a ton of options.
Right. He could have made some money on it too.
He could have,
You know
but
what?
like, here's my problem. Everyone we're dealing with in foreclosure, not the same thing. Like, well, give me 10,000, I'll sell it to you. I go, there's not 10,000 here.
That doesn't even work.
Like
Yeah.
the best I can do is save you from foreclosure and maybe buy you dinner.
Yeah.
And so most of them get very unrealistic, and you just got to go, listen, I wish you the best. If something changes, call me back.
That's what I figured on this.
Yeah,
one.
and by the way, when you get an auction date, there's really not a lot I can do, because the only reason they're calling you once they have an auction date is why
They want to hurry up and sell
you're
it.
like that girl sitting on the end of the bleachers that no one will ask out, and then they wait till the entire thing's empty. Like, that girl doesn't deserve it, nor do you. So like,
you know
have
what's
pride, people, man. Like, he can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Last resort. He already has the house empty. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you living there?" He was like, "Yeah, I was, but you know what? I'm ready to sell it, so it's pretty much empty."
guys,
He knows it's
so
foreclosing.
going into when we talk about pre-foreclosures, foreclosures, if you can catch them before they go to auction, they have a ton of option. And that's what most don't understand. And you have to take your time and find the best way to do it, because they have rights when the property's distressed. Even when you're into an agreement, you have to give them disclosures, you have to give them time to get out of the contract, and you can't force them to do anything. But these houses sit around vacant, they need someone's help, they don't know how to wrap their head around it. And if you can catch them early, so maybe you guys overhear a conversation during a Christmas party, goes, I can't afford my mortgage, I don't know what I want to do. If you can catch them, you can give them pride, dignity, and actually help them out of the problem and give them cash while walking away. They wait till an auction date, my hands are tied, dude. Like,
Too late.
that's like when the car's running out of gas and it's sputtering and you go, man, I wish there was a gas station around. Oh, here's Jason, I'm gonna call him and like figure it out. I'm respectful, but I'm very to the point with those people. I just don't have time. You've wasted everyone's time up to this point. There's no money left. Pack your bags and let it happen. So somebody put on here, can you short sale it? No, you can't. You can't do a short sale when you have an auction date. It ain't happening, buddy. I flipped hundreds of short sales. I'm here to tell you, banks aren't stupid. When you wait till the very end, they are now not going to start negotiating with you.
Yeah.
If you
because
do it in
they've
the
already done
beginning,
all the legwork.
you can have a shot. But short sales, dude, they were non-existent the last 3 years in like a few markets where they can't move stuff. But short sales are painful, guys. And I flipped hundreds of them back in 2009 to 2012, 13. And the rules have changed. Why? Because investors took advantage of it. And what do banks and institutions do when they see a loophole? They close it. So this little thing you all are doing on novations, it's going bye-bye. By the way, they had a meeting the other day nationally on the underwriters. I don't know if the Underwriters Association, and they know how to stop the novations, and it's coming. And it's real easy. When you guys record your affidavits, you are going to red flag your files, and they're going to go in deep, deep discussion. And they're going to put the owner on affidavit and ask them if they're entering into a willingly agreement, and they want to know if they've been marketed for novations. And if they answer yes to any of them, they will not underwrite the file. Ask me how I know this, guys. I got 2 deals right now I'm taking over because some local investors tried someone's novation course. I'm not going to give names because I don't know who it's from. And it's like the title companies, they're just sick of it. It's a gimmick, guys. It's not wholesaling. You're trying to disguise a transaction like you're the owner, and you're not the owner, and you're entering in a power of attorney, which by the rule of fiduciary responsibility, you're violating it by entering into the agreement. Go talk to any lawyer, go talk to any title company. They all agree with this. I wish we could just do it. Can you do it? Yes. Can you find someone that'll push it through? Yes. Eventually you will be squashed down to no people doing this. So enjoy your little loophole while it happens. And to be honest with you, they're starting to collect data on the amount of failed novations. It's brutally high. And that's why it's giving the wholesaling world a black eye, because number one, it has nothing to do with wholesaling. And number two, you're trying to manipulate it and make it look like a regular transaction. And that's what's going to get people in trouble. Remember, the law always looks at your intent. If your intent is to deceive, you are in trouble. Doing a power of attorney, you're violating the owner's rights, even though they want to do it. But I promise you, when the deposition comes down, you're going to be run under the bus. It's true.
Yeah,
I'm telling
that's
you.
scary. I don't
So
like that.
I would find like another one, but like, guys, when you get someone someone in a foreclosure situation and they have a scheduled auction, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just challenging. And if you're brand new, my advice is stay away from them, because it's probably going to take money and like some very experienced people to help get them out of it. And then when you get them out of it, if you can't find the equity in the property, why would you even bother doing it? So just like be advised and keep an eye on it. Okay.
That's probably what I'll do. I got one more question for you, Rick.
Go ahead, Jason.
Have you ever done a house in a 55 and over community?
Yes, I love them. It's not as intimidating as you think. So guys,
Can somebody
this is like
under 55 even own
Yes.
that house? Okay.
Yes. By law, they have to. So about 10 to 15% of their community, depending on the allocation, they have to allow people for 55 and younger or older in there, because people get houses inherited. There's all sorts of.
That's true.
I don't know what the ruling is, but like you can't. It becomes discrimination if you do 55 and older. Now, if you have a partner that's 55 and older, like it works really well. But typically, what you have to do is you have to interview in front of their HOA, and it's kind of a nightmare. So you have to convince to them that I'm here to help your community out, not penalize it, and I want to improve property values. So I've done about 10 of those meetings on your exact situation we talk about. And by the time I'm done with those meetings, I always walk away with 2 or 3 buyers, because they want to buy the property and get you out of there. What you have to watch for in HOAs, here's what kills a deal. Any type of restriction for resale, 1 year or 2 year, I will not touch. Also, when they have a restriction on renting the property, you got to own it 1 year or longer, that's going to really kill your buyer's pool. If you can get around those 2 things, I'll do any condo. I don't care. Like, it's a pain in the butt. You got to pay the fees. Those are the 2 deals that will kill any HOA property I buy, because I can't get around those. There's no way around it. You can't do it. And by the way, I've been challenged. Sometimes they restrict rentals for 1 year because they want to discourage investor activity.
Okay.
I recently got busted on one and had to go to court for it. I didn't win. So I'm just saying, like, they hunt you down. Like they have like controls that are the 55 and older, dude. It's easy. So a lot of them have allotments, or sometimes you can bring somebody and put them on 55 older. I've even used my hard money lender to help me do it, like when I was much younger. But now I'm an old fart. It's like no big deal. Once you're even close to the age, they'll never question you.
Yeah. Okay.
So remember, a lot of these are rules. It doesn't mean they're actually legal either. Yeah. I was told by reaching HOA that a corporation could not buy a property in there. And I showed them a list. I go, you got 5 properties owned by banks in here. They are a corporation by definition. So your rule violates itself. I just need in writing, you're turning me down for that. And then I promise you a lawyer's calling you. Like you can't, like, I get it. That's your policy, but you're breaking laws by doing that. You can't discriminate based on that. There's nowhere, I don't see anywhere where you can do that. And I got it. I had to wait 2 weeks to buy the property and make it work. So listen, I'm on a board of multiple like boards, and you should see the like crap that comes across the desk. It's actually funny. It's just so comical. And most of these boards have a common sense. Remember, they want to keep their values up, and they want to keep like-minded people in the community. That's why 55 and older. The reality is they don't want screaming kids. Let's be honest, right?
Right.
But they got screaming dogs. It's just as bad. So it's like, don't be scared of them. I'm telling you, you can flip those properties. It doesn't mean you have to live there. So sometimes you got to read the rules. So my only advice, if you do a community like that, get it under contract and make sure you get a copy. Make sure you get a copy on the bylaws.
From the HOA.
Yes, and read them. Read them very carefully.
Okay.
Unfortunately, is a required reading, because you might be walking into a show that you want to be part of it. And if they discourage rentals, or that you can't flip it in X amount of like months, I usually run. I don't want any part of that crap, because they make it very difficult.
Yeah, that was a pre-foreclosure as well. Her auction date got postponed. I don't know why, and it got postponed again for January 3rd. I don't know why. I seen bankruptcy on there. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe that is it. And so that even complicates it more. So they use bankruptcy as a delay tactic. It's kind of fraudulent, but I don't know them. I would just stay away from it.
Okay. Okay, Rick. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Have a good holiday, bud. I'll talk to you.